This is the Fifth Down NFL newsletter, and I'm your host, Tony Tucker. Each week, I'm going to pick 5 topics. It could be head-to-head matchups. It could be past stuff. It could be future stuff. Who knows? It could be gambling. But whatever it is, I'm going to try to keep it mostly positive because here, we want fans to have that juice, be just fully amped up, headed into Sunday for their matchup. We're in 4th down. Let's get this party started. Need a little mea culpa to the internet. I was 1-4 last week. Oh, one of the most brutal weeks. The last 2 weeks, 3-7 overall, not good. But I have irrational confidence. I'm coming back this week. I got a 5 for 5 on here. And I will say that last week was like, coup. I had the Falcons, misses 3 field goals. I have the Niners, misses 3 field goals. I have the Lions, 5 interceptions, really 4 interceptions. Just like some really bad luck from teams that I had a lot of faith in. And I won't even get started on what I saw from the Rams offense. So,
oh, man.
We're regrouping. Here we go.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Refresh. Take the notes. It's all lessons, Tony. It's all learning lessons. Just every negative pressure is just another opportunity for you to overcome. Don't worry, Tony. But tell people what my record is, by the way, because no one's keeping track.
I was gonna get to that. Mike went 3-1 last week. He is now 4-2 on the season since he started. Mike only started a couple weeks ago. So he had a winning week, a great week last week. I'm trying to get back to the winning column. We're just trying to give out winners here. And also we have fun. This is a great way to talk about the football games a little bit more. Mm-hmm. As I said at the beginning of the show, I like the Commanders this week. I like them even though they're on the road in Philadelphia. So I'm starting my picks off this week with a Thursday night football game. I like the Commanders to go in there. Even if they don't win, it's plus 3.5. So they just got to come within a field goal of this game, which I think is doable. I actually do think they are going to win this game by a field goal, but I like the Commanders plus 3.5. It's slightly contingent on certain people playing, but since this is a show, I'm just going to lock it in right now. Commanders plus 3.5. Second pick, Ravens versus the Steelers. Going with a lot of marquee games this week. I like the Steelers at home, and they're plus 3.5. This is a game that I think fits nicely for Mike Tomlin right here to really get this team surging down the back half because they have all of their divisional games coming up. The team they responded well to being down last week with Russ hitting big plays downfield. The touchdown pass to Pickens kind of reminded me of a young, thinner Calvin Johnson with the body control right there, kind of adjusting in midair and, just fantastic catch right there. And then Mike Dubb, shout out to 81. Fantastic. Game winner, walk off. He wasn't worried about the red line. There it is.
He's worried about the goal line. He's worried about the goal line, as Mike Dubb always is.
Worried about pay dirt. Pick number 3, the Indianapolis Colts plus 3.5 against the Jets. This is really more of a pick against the Jets because we don't know, with the Anthony Richardson news coming back in. I think the Colts can win this game just outright. And it's based more on what I'm seeing from the New York Jets. So give me the Colts, Jonathan Taylor run the ball against this defense. Defense has not been very good since Robert Saleh has been out. And then can they make a couple of explosive plays in this game downfield to get things going? Can they get Anthony Richardson in the run game involved? Can the defense find a couple of takeaways? I believe they can. I like the Colts plus 3.5. Next game, Seahawks at the 49ers. Candlestick, although it's not Candlestick anymore. Niners minus 6.5 at home. They seem to own the Seahawks for whatever reason, especially during this Geno time. For whatever, I don't exactly know what it is, but they just beat up Geno. Remember the mic'd up situation last year where we thought he was screaming with the Aaron Donald situation? I think Bosa's trying to recreate. He's trying to have his own moment like that where he gets a yelp out of Geno in this game. I think DK might be back, which didn't make me feel as strong about this one. But I just think another week with CMC, the 49ers figure it out. And Jake Moody, Michigan guy, come on, man. Like, I have stuck up for him so much in the chats with Mike. Just make your kicks, bro. I know.
It's not even Moody. It's not even Moody. It's not a problem with Moody. He just happens to just be the wrong guy at the wrong time in the wrong place to get picked. It's not his fault. I'm not blaming Moody for what they did.
Oh yeah, we could go on about picking a kicker in the third round for sure. But last pick of the week, and this one is also too more about the opponent than the team that I'm picking. But I like the Packers -5 against the Bears, and it is just about what's happening with the Chicago Bears. The fighting that is being rumored that's going on between members of the offense and prominent members of the offense. They fired the offensive coordinator. The defense starting to look a little shaky in certain spots. Not like I still think it's a good defense, but the Packers coming off of a bye, I think LaFleur can figure out a way to win this game by a touchdown, sort of a 27, 27-20 type game, 27-17, 2 scores. That's kind of brutal. Again, here we go. Picks, week 11, Commanders +3.5 at the Eagles. Ravens versus the Steelers. Steelers +3.5. Colts +3.5 against the Jets. Seahawks at the Niners. I like the Niners -6.5. The Packers -5 at the Bears. Mike, what do you got for the people?
There we go. There's your 5. And I, Tony, am bringing 5 to the table this week. So I warmed up in week 1, and I heated up in week 2. And now if I stay hot this week, I'm going to do all 16 games next week. So you're just not going to get to give any. And I'm just going to pick all the games for the entire week. But I'm going to start off with a duplicate here. Not much to add to it. I think the Jets defense has given up. That's the words I have marked down here. I know you said struggling. That was pretty nice to say about what I'm seeing out there on the field out of New York. I think that AR-15 can get out there, get a little bit of vengeance, and they're underdogs, right? I'm with you. I think that the Colts win this game. So that was one of my picks. Another one was, and I brought it up earlier in the show, that I was going to be bringing up the Saints again in this one. I think they're riding a bit too high off the Rizzler here and might be smoking a little bit too much of that hopium. And this Cleveland defense, I still think, is pretty stout. There's still some game records at certain spots that are going to get in Derek Carr's face and cause some struggles like we've always seen with Carr against really good pass rushers, which is a big problem when you're an NFL quarterback. I think that the Browns are going to win this game. I think they're 1-point underdogs on the road, so I'm taking Cleveland plus that 1 point. I got 3 games here where it's 3 really good teams, and I wanted to pick all 3 of these, but I only picked 2. And they're 3 good teams that I think want to make a bit of a statement this week against other teams that we thought might have been playoff teams, and these teams can kind of say, like, no, we're that tier. They're not necessarily on our level, and that's the San Francisco 49ers. You already brought them up. I think they were -6.5. Was that right? Was that the correct number? Yep, in Seattle. The other one was the Packers on the road in Chicago. I think the same spread. And then the last one was the Houston Texans on the road against the Cowboys. I'm not going to take all 3 of these. I think the least predictable opponent of these 3 is the Seattle Seahawks. I think that they're the team that can have a random explosive game on offense. They're the team that have some playmakers that can create some random turnovers that make this game closer than we think it would be on defense. So I eliminated that game and I picked the other 2. So I'm going Green Bay -6.5. I think that they can win by a touchdown also, but I think they can win bigger than that. And then Houston, get Nico Collins back. I'm all for a Nico Collins revenge game. Get me in on that one. And then my final pick, I believe, this is my final pick. Put my money where my mouth is. Put my money where my heart is. So that way my heart can be duly broken as it always is. Buffalo, 2.5 points. I can see this game being tied and the Bills trying to run the clock out wisely and kick the game-winning field goal. Or I can even see it where the Bills are finally the team, Josh Allen's finally the quarterback, to crack the Chiefs defense a little bit, and they just win comfortably. So I'm taking Buffalo -2.5 to get them all down at once. I got the Colts +3.5 points over the Jets. The Browns plus 1 point over the Saints. The Packers minus 6.5 points against the Bears. The Texans minus 7.5 against Dallas. They're gonna have to blow them out. And then I have the Buffalo Bills minus 2.5 against the Chiefs.
Okay. So I just want to say I'm looking at one of the books on here where I check the lines. The line has moved to the Bills are -1.
You've met her,
right? Yeah. You'll take the Bills -1, and then the Packers. I locked in my pick for the Packers at -5. The line for the Packers is -5.5. So why don't you just come down to the -5 with me, or the -5.5, and book this one right now?
Yeah, I'm with all those lines. Point here, point there. Doesn't bother me that much. I'm picking the teams that I think are going to win by more than these point margins. These are point margins for show. I think the Packers are going to win by 10+ points. I think the Texans are going to win by 10+ points.